Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, been holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing, if you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for
Well, that's fucking annoying. Does that mean if I hit this that's gonna be like that? It is. Whoa, Paisley's. Indefinite Paisley's. We have to fix it, guys. I really apologize. We have to fix it. We have to remember how to fix it, which we'll start here. Because the input is wrong for the screen capture. That's right. I said the screen capture. Oh, there's not on this page. I'm sorry. We have to do it. I said the screen capture is wrong. Do 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 do. Done. Now it's fixed. Oh, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. But thank you for your patience and so glad that you're here. We are doing an early show today. I have dinner plans. So that's great, but I would love to hear what you guys had for dinner. You know, want to know, here, I'm going to show you guys my dinner plans. Also, this is pink. This is absolutely a pink shirt, sports bra that I just got today. It cost $7. I'm a cheap ass. Yeah. But I know it looks red. Sorry, I thought I just heard the doorbell, but I didn't. Nobody rings the doorbell. Anyways, guess what I got? Honestly? Oh, first of all, you won't be able to see them. You can't even see because my leg, I'm holding it up, but it's camouflage, so you can't see it. But I got these pants. You can't see them. Sorry. But they were $3. $3 for invisible legs? Yeah, I think so. Yes. Yes, please. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Adam, you're barely late. We have not even got to talking about what I'm having for dinner. Please keep in mind that we do not have Taco Bell where I live in Canada. But we do tonight, baby. That's right. No, it's because I was, scratching. I'm like a magic marker, Donald. Look, watch what's gonna happen. Anyways, we've never had Taco Bell brand before. They just start, but see, it's in French, so you know it's Canadian. Taco souffle. That's soft tacos. And we got Taco Croustillant. Tacos Croustillant by Taco Bell, which is crunchy tacos. Now, here's the thing. These taco kits cost the same at... Hold on, I can go big now. Okay, maybe not that big. These taco kits cost the same as the old El Paso ones. Hi, Tin Man. Also, yeah, I just have been scratching. That's just from me scratching. Your grants convinced their mother to make the cheesy lasagna noodles off of TikTok fame. It was okay. Noodles needed to be cooked longer. Yeah, most am I gonna be disappointed? Whatever. Most recipes that I find on TikTok, people make look really easy, but if you were actually making it proper, it don't. Corn tortillas here are not 100 for $3. I buy tortillas weekly, even though I know how to make tortillas, and I should make them. But they are like $4 for 10. It's expensive. I'm aware we're getting fucked. Anyways, it's the sauce and the seasoning that I wanted to get. That's why I really got those. And the kids should like it. 100 tortillas. I can't even imagine how big the package is to do 100 tortillas. No comprende. Anyways, okay. Also, you have no flour. Oh, flour. I have tortilla chips too. Don't worry, I have all my regular taco accoutrement. But that's the reason we're getting started early, is because I'm gonna make dinner, and you know what I mean. What were we doing? Oh, right. That court thing. Oh my god. Obsessed. I watched this just before we get started. I watched this lady, and I would love to hear what you guys are having for dinner tonight. If you didn't like what you have for dinner or don't like what you're planning for dinner, you can tell me what you wish you had. But anyways, I was watching this lady last night. She's a rock tumbler. She tumbles rocks. And she has ADHD, and she was laughing. She was like, who would have thought that 4 years ago, a hobby of mine that was a hyperfixation from ADHD would become something that is like part of my everyday life. And I laughed, and then I was like, you dumb bitch, what do you think watching court is? That's exactly the same thing. I have a hyperfixation on being a nosy bitch. And watching court is one of the best ways to satisfy that itch for this bitch. Okay, guys, buckle up. This is the end of that same day for this judge. She had yet another docket. So we have same as yesterday. Remember, we had cousin husbands. Crazy. Husbands. Yeah, you heard that right. Cousin, husband, husbands. And in this case, I've been told it has something to do with Taylor Swift. I have not listened to it.
Please rise. Thurston County District Court is back in session. Judge Kayla Wilcox presenting.
Thanks. Please be seated. Are you here for a hearing or just watching? Okay, you waited all morning. Okay. All right. Are we on record and live streaming?
Are we on record? Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let me do there.
It's okay, Adam. We all want steak, but we can't have it. Hold on, I need to turn the volume up. I know it's low.
Make everything fit. Okay, so we are on record and live streaming at Thurston County District Court. Our last morning case, let's see, let's see, Susan Rawl, Amanda Rawl, you can unmute, start your camera.
Yes.
All right, got you back. We're taking up case 2575. Kylie Norton is there on Zoom, and let me put everybody under oath. So Kylie Norton, raise your right hand with me. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right, and Amanda Rawl or Susan Rawl, have you raised your right hand? Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do, ma'am.
And let me jump back to Ms. Norton. Are you intending to call your mother as a witness?
No, she's
No.
here solely for just emotional support.
Okay, and then we've got another family member in the courtroom. Are you intending to call him?
No,
No,
he just wanted
okay.
to attend. It was closer to his work.
All right, got it. So then, but Susan Rawl, you filed Amanda Rawl did file a declaration in the case, so, we'll see if we need to hear from Amanda Rawl, but I'll put you under oath just in case. Amanda Rawl, I think you're gonna need to scoot, thank you. Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. So what this is about is, will this protection order or no contact order continue after today concerning Kylie Norton and Susan Rawl? It's not about the clinic or and what they did or didn't do. It's not about if they did things right or wrong or to an industry standard or anything. That's not what's going to get decided here. That's for a different court, a different time, different issue. Some of that, so the information I hear about whether the clinic did anything right or wrong just isn't relevant. Just so everyone's clear, kind of to stay focused on what we're doing here today. And you'll see that I'm looking to different screens because our file is electronic, and so I am listening, but I'm looking over here to look at what you supplied me to look at as exhibits as well. Let me just get things up here that I need right away.
So I just want to let you guys know that obviously I'm
So I'll
dressed for
first
the weather.
hear,
It's 53 degrees.
From Ms. Norton, then I'm going to turn over to Susan Rawl. And so Ms. Norton, you filed a lot of audio clips. I read your petition. You've also filed some other, well, the audio clips are pretty much the exhibits. And then the exhibits of I guess they're text message, screenshots of text messages. And your statement from Joanna Lopez. And then I'm presuming, yeah, that's right. And then the continuation of the petition that I read. So first off, Kylie Norton, you're ready for your hearing today?
Yes.
Susan Rawl, you're ready to respond to this?
Yes, ma'am.
And stay unmuted. You're in the
Okay.
hearing, stay unmuted. Don't have to keep going back and forth. All right, so then Ms. Norton, knowing that I've looked and listened and reviewed, anything else or something you want, or summation, is there something you want me to focus in on?
If I can
Anything?
clarify just a couple things about the original situation, as actually clarify a couple things from my point of view from Susan and Amanda's statements, if that's okay.
That's a good idea.
So first off, I kind of want to explain that I am a tech. I work under the direction of a physical therapist in the clinic, meaning that Susan was not actually my patient. She was the therapist that I was working with, Joanna's patient. And the way it's kind of set up is that techs really handle, we get patients from the lobby, we do exercises with them, we'll help with cueing and everything like that, just to make sure they're doing exercises right. Whereas the therapist handles manual and diagnostic and everything like that, just to kind of clarify what my duties are in this situation. So a couple of things I wanted to clarify is that the first one, when Susan talks about, she made a question to Joanna and Lucas, our clinic director, about making me uncomfortable multiple times. I had expressed
There are paragraph numbers in her statement. Is that what I'm looking at?
So it's under number 2. It's on December 17th, that paragraph right there.
Okay.
Don't
I had
worry,
gone
we're
to
just
my
getting
work
started,
explaining to them that
Carla.
I was
Even though we're 6 minutes into it, we have literally just begun. Just begun. Just begun. Also, hi to everyone who just got here. I love these sunglasses. Cellulite Yoga Pants wanted me to take these and make them into just glasses that I would wear without the lenses, but I'll be damned. They're so cute.
receiving these messages, that she had given me her phone number. And this was after previous incidents in the clinic the week before, where she had given me songs, and I showed them to my coworker who knew the artist Taylor Swift. And then she got upset with me for showing my coworker the song names because she said that it was private in between us.
Wait, they don't know Taylor Swift, they just know the songs? Oh, I'm such a clickbaiter. Is that what she's talking about? Oh, that's funny. It's a gruesome. Oh, fuck. Oh, that's making me laugh so hard now. This is so great. Well, then what the fuck's the case about? Let's get on it. I thought we were having a problem with physical therapy and Taylor Swift, like we couldn't get ready in time to go to a Taylor Swift concert. That's really what I thought.
We ended up looking up the songs, and they do talk about like having a private relationship outside of work that's not really allowed, and about falling in love at first sight. So it was already kind of insinuating that we had a personal relationship that we don't have, versus I was just trying to do my job. My job is to help these people with their exercises, to have a connection with them in a way that they feel comfortable telling me when something hurts, when something's wrong, and I can help assist them in that way. The next
So
thing,
can I ask you a question though? So how long have you known Susan Rawl in this
she became a patient in October, and that was my first time meeting her.
October of 2024?
Yes.
Okay. And so then you worked with her, how often do you think?
I believe it was once or twice a week from October into December.
All right. And so in that time frame between October and December, was there anything that applies to this request for an order against her?
So the first thing was we make small talk as part of our job. They're doing exercises, it keeps people engaged. And we've been talking about weekend plans, and I mentioned I was going to see Wicked. I just didn't know if anyone would be able to go with me. And she expressed, oh, we should just go after work. I'll meet you at the theater. Let's go together. And I told her, no, we do not have contact with patients outside the clinic. I actually had to state that multiple times in that same conversation. So I did tell her that I did not want contact with her outside the clinic way back when that all first started.
Okay. And anything other before between October and December?
Yes. So I apologize, I'm just looking. On December 12th, she brought in a gift of EMT prep cards because I'd mentioned that I was possibly going to be looking into going into the fire service. That's when she gave me the note about the songs. The next 3 days later that weekend, she messaged me on my private Instagram. So she looked me up and found me and messaged me with her phone number, saying that she wanted me to message her either on her phone or if we can talk through Instagram or Facebook or things like that. That's what I drew to attention for my clinic director. And then that Monday, her wife had an appointment. She came with her, which she had never done previously. So it just seemed a little bit off. And then she actually called the clinic later asking for me specifically, which I was not available, so I did not take that phone call. And then that night she sent another message, but this time through Facebook, saying that I didn't know if I had seen it, but she had messaged me on the other platform and that she wanted me to respond.
And the substance of those messages then?
Unfortunately, what I think happened was I originally believed I had blocked her after those messages, but I believe I declined the messages, so I do not actually have access to those.
Okay, and in your belief, if you blocked or declined them, would that information have gotten back to Ms. Rawl, to Susan Rawl?
I don't know if she would have been, I think if I blocked her, she would no longer be able to find me. I don't think declining the messages informs them. However, the lack of response, I feel like maybe should have been something that she noticed.
All right, and so first it starts out with just a discussion about Wicked, the play, and telling her, no, we don't have any contact outside of work here.
Mhm.
And then December 12th, you said you brought a box of EMT
She
tests.
brought me a gift, which it's kind of a gray area on if we can accept it or not. because it's not something that's really expensive and dangerous, that's something that we technically can accept. However, as this was all going on, I no longer felt like I could accept it because it wasn't just a gift out of the goodness of her heart. It was almost like an insinuation to a relationship. And so I asked Joanna and our clinic director, Lucas, to return it to her. And then I
So
could
what's
not.
it? EMT test prep cards? What are
Yes.
those?
So they're basically just little like flashcards to help you practice for an EMT test.
Oh, okay, I get it. All right. Thus the idea about going.
Sort of a thoughtful gift, to be honest. Susan or Amanda, why aren't you focusing on your wife with all this attention and extra energy? It seems like it's not. They're a couple, MB. I promise you. They're a couple, and that's Amanda. They were both sworn in. So I promise. But again, so Amanda, maybe like let's refocus in on the wife. You know what I mean? Also, I don't know. I've been hit on in a lot of jobs that I've had, so. But don't make people feel uncomfortable. There's such a fine line. Such a fine line. Also, when she said no the first time and shut down the movie thing, that was it. That should have been it. Like when they say like, oh, it's we don't hang out outside of work. Like you're a patient, and like that was that. I think Susan's the dark-haired lady off to the side. Amanda is the lady in the shirt that looks like a man in the tie. No offense, Amanda. And then Kylie is the one with her hair, how I would call it, a piece up and a piece down. Half up, half down. And then that's her mom beside her. And then her dad showed up in the courtroom, apparently. They're all aflutter about this.
Going into the fire service. Okay. And then, all right. So between then that October discussion and that December 12th discussion, anything happen that caused you to be here today?
Not at that time because I basically was just trying to avoid responding or have contact with her until my clinic director and the therapist could speak to her on my behalf.
So you didn't provide services to her?
No, she was not seen in that time.
Okay, all right. And so then, all right, so December 12th happens and as well, Amanda Rawl comes in on, was that on the
The Monday.
12th?
That was on the
Okay.
15th, I believe.
Later, all right. So so after that then, so what happens after December 12th?
She had messaged me again so basically she stopped coming for a time. They had offered to switch her to the other clinic. It sounds like she had declined. I was not a part of those phone calls. The second we knew who was calling, someone else took over those phone calls. I stepped away. She decided to come back, and my boss let me know that she could return as a patient, but I would not be having any contact with her. Our gym is a very large open area, probably about 1,500 square feet. So pretty large. So whenever she would come in, I would be working with another patient. And later on, she came, I think, for 2 visits. Amanda called back and said that Susan felt she was being punished by not being allowed to speak to me or be near me. Again, I wasn't part of these phone calls directly. This is just what I was told later. And so she decided she no longer wanted to be treated there and to be discharged.
So then after that, December 12th, your higher ups took over on
Yes,
contact with Susan. And so you didn't, any messages that came in, they weren't provided, you didn't get them or you into the clinic or you weren't supposed to respond, you weren't providing services.
Yes, so I did not respond to anything. Any messages I got, I did show to my clinic director as well as the therapist, just so that they were aware of what was going on. In that time frame that I'm aware of, she sent the initial message on Instagram, the one on Facebook, and then I think 1 or 2 more following on Facebook, just saying that she's sorry and that I should leave my job and that she didn't mean it this way, and then nothing from there. I did get 2 other messages in the months after that from Amanda stating that she wasn't upset if I wanted to be with Susan and that she wasn't upset. And that's at that point when I blocked Amanda, that's when all the messages with Susan started that I found weeks later.
And we,
Julie, we're just trying to figure it out. It sounds to me like Susan and Amanda need to talk to each other. Stop talking to other people. Talk to each other. Hello, Officer Porkchop.
weeks later would have been, I mean, these were, I'm trying to find the time frames here.
So I found them on March 15th, but the original dates in some of the messages are February 22nd.
Okay. So, okay.
And I think she was just messaging so much that it never showed up in my requests. It went straight to spam because of how often she was messaging.
So how did you become aware of them?
I got a notification early in the morning that I had a message, and I went in and I didn't see anything in my requests because it wasn't someone that I knew, but there was like a little indicator on the spam folder, and that's when I clicked on it, and that's when I saw everything.
Okay, then you went to spam and there it is. And let me see. All right, go ahead. I'm interrupting you enough.
No, it's
Anything
all good.
else? Okay.
Just a couple other clarifying things if I can from their statements. When Susan states that I did not treat her the same as other patients, we'd make small talk as part of our job. Like we talk about movies and music and their personal lives, and they ask us personal things about our lives, like if we're in relationships or do we live in that area. So I responded, no, I live in Tumwater. No, I'm single. Like we kind of just try and build a relationship with that person, which is why I gave her that information. And then there's a point where she says that I found excuses to touch her. That is not the case. It's called a contact cue or a tactile cue. If a muscle is not engaging or it's over engaging, you can touch the muscle in order to help it actually engage better. So that is what I was doing. I was not finding excuses to touch her. I was simply giving a tactile cue and trying to do my job.
How long have you been a physical therapy tech?
As of now, I've been a physical therapy tech for 4.5 years.
Okay, so at that point, 4 years.
About, yes.
Okay, all right. And at this clinic or others?
It is with this clinic, with this therapist and this clinic director, yes.
Okay, and where you do the cueing, where you do the exercises and the cueing, is that in the gym that you refer to?
Yes, it is in the large open gym. There's always multiple people in there. No one's ever left alone. There's always multiple staff members, multiple patients, things like that.
Right. And all right. Let me just kind of look through some things here to see if I have any other questions here.
I have quite a few questions, Judge. I mean, just off the top of my head,
And
a lot.
I apologize.
Go ahead.
In reviewing some of the messages, she does make comments about seeing me, like talking to my boss. This is months after she was a patient, seeing me talking to my boss and how she feels sick seeing that. And she makes a reference to me being sick at one point, which I do not know how she would have known unless she had seen me. And she starts dropping landmarks around the area where I talked about how I take Yelm Highway to work and I live in Tumwater. She drops landmarks in that area almost as if she's trying to figure out where I live. And that is really the point that made me feel I needed to file this.
And that was obviously sometime between February and March 15th, and those
Yes.
you discovered the messages. Okay,
Yes.
so you're not quite sure when they came in. It's hard to tell.
Mhm.
All right.
But the clinic is mostly windows in the gym area, so it's very easy to see in. And it's to the point that I don't feel comfortable almost going into work because I feel like I'm being watched.
And after you discovered things in March, I mean, were you able to determine the latest message that came in when it came in?
It was that morning. She was actively still messaging me when I blocked her. I think
Okay.
she sent me a voicemail like 5 minutes before I blocked her.
All right. And then since that discovery of all those messages in spam, what happened after that?
Basically after that, I contacted my boss and I wanted to make sure I wasn't revealing anything that was protected medical information. So they told me it is all good, file this sort of stuff. I have not had any contact with her at that point. They did change where I park so that my car is not as easily accessible. It's just, yeah, so nothing's happened since then, but I have her blocked, but I can't confirm what she's been doing in that time.
Okay, all right. Let me just see. All right, I'm just gonna pause here and just kind of re-review a few things, see if I have some questions before I turn to Susan Rawl.
Of course.
I have to make cookies tonight as well. I'm excited. Fresh cookies. I always feel like somebody's watching me. I always feel like somebody's watching me. I have so much to do, Judge. Could you fucking hurry up, please? Please. I would put it in place. I don't really need to hear much. There's very little that you could reason with me on in terms of this. Just put it in place. Fuck off, Susan and Amanda. Problem solved. That's my theory on it. Right? Am I wrong? Am I just, in my old age, am I just getting too over it? Because I'm fucking over it. She's gonna have to have some crazy Taylor Swift story about why she's sending her Taylor Swift love songs and calling
So
her
Kylie
work
Norton,
and
anything else before
all
I
that shit.
turn to Susan Rawl?
I think the one thing else I want to say is that at one point Amanda references on December 19th when she spoke with Joanna. She stated that I was present for the conversation she had with Joanna. I was in the room. However, I was working with another possibly up to 2 patients. I have no recollection of them having that conversation. I was probably just present in the room. So
Okay,
in no way was I implying that I was okay working with Susan again or anything like that. I was simply just in the room.
all right. And at that point, December 19th, you were advised by your higher ups to not.
At that point, yeah, she had already had the initial discussion with our clinic director and the therapist. She was on break from therapy. She was considering what she wanted to do. So I was just at that point staying out of the situation as much as I could.
Just reviewing. Okay, that was.
Pre-filling out the paperwork, by the way. That's what the judge is doing. Yes, that is what I think. Oh,
All right, so Susan Rawl, let me turn to you. In your response to this request for a restraining order, and I have had a chance to review Amanda Rawl's statement there and the information that you provided. So Susan Rawl, what would you like to say in response to this request?
Well, I have no problem not talking to Miss Norton. The thing is, I think this is a misunderstanding. I really wish that the physical therapy place would have told me in the room, because I asked 5 times, did I make her uncomfortable? I would have never came back to that place, ever. I asked them so many times. I would have never contacted her ever again. I would have left her alone. I really think that somebody should have told me. I really do. I'm not this type of person. I'm not the type of person to make anyone feel uncomfortable. That's not who I am. My record is clean. And the reason I was driving by, to be honest with you, was to take Amanda to work. Unfortunately, we had to sell her car and I had to take her to work. I mean, if she didn't see my car after, I think for a whole month, because yes, their PT place is on Yelm, the main strip of Yelm, where, I live by. It's all windows, and I think it's 25 miles per hour there, and I go 35. To be honest, I drive faster because I don't want to see Lucas or Joanna, because I went back to therapy due to what they did to me in that room.
So let me ask you about that December 17th. I'm looking at the information from Joanna Lopez that she wrote, her declaration, she says, that was filed by the petitioner. I'm looking down to 1, 2, 3, fourth paragraph, and that's where she indicates during the week of December 17th, 2024, Lucas Christensen and I, Joanna Lopez then, had a private meeting with Susan prior to a scheduled therapy session. And we explained that it's inappropriate to fraternize with patients outside the clinic. We requested she stop reaching out to Kylie outside the clinic and that she couldn't accept a gift. So then there are about 40 or 50 audio messages from you to Ms. Norton that she doesn't discover till March. Can you help me understand
They
what
stated that
happened
it was,
December 17?
40 or 50
I'm sorry,
messages?
I'm sorry.
Man. Oh my God. Oh, this is getting put in place. This is getting put in place. For sure. Right? Right. Like, ma'am, you were told. So now we're hearing that you were told specifically. Do not do that. Yeah, get a fucking hobby. Become a phone sex operator. Make money off of this.
Sorry, Your Honor. They stated that it was an employee policy, just an employee policy that patients and employees could not talk together, and I misunderstood.
Yeah.
And, you know, if they would have said, hey, you're making her feel uncomfortable, like if they would have said that, those audio messages, all those messages, they would have never been there. I would have never contacted her. And when they gave me back the gift, Joanna said, hey, it's okay to give people gifts, but it should be baked goods.
So what did you understand from them when they said that you were supposed to stop reaching out to Kylie Norton?
That,
What did you think that meant?
when I was a patient, I thought that's what they meant. That as long as I was a patient there. I mean, that's really what I thought.
Okay, so they said not appropriate for patients and the clinic people to fraternize, and they asked you to stop reaching out to her outside the clinic. And then
Yes, because I asked over again. I'm sorry,
when
ma'am.
were you no longer a clinic? When were you no longer using this clinic?
As of December 27th, Amanda pulled me out.
Okay. So thereafter then, so looks like maybe February and March, there were all sorts of audio messages and other messages sent to Ms. Norton.
Yeah,
And so
yes,
that was
ma'am.
your understanding, is that since you weren't
Yes, ma'am. And I
client of
really,
that clinic, you were good to contact her.
yes, Your Honor, I am so sorry. I really wish that they would have explained that I made her uncomfortable. I really wish that they didn't say that it was an employee policy, because I asked so many times, did I make her uncomfortable? I can go right now. I'll never come back.
All right. So what do you understand now?
Oh, that she's uncomfortable and she never wants to talk to me again, and I totally understand that. But I am not stalking her. I literally passed to get coffee, and Amanda's not even working in Tumwater anymore. And she moved stores again. And that's the only reason I was driving past. Like I only have 30,000 miles on my truck. I don't leave my house unless I have to. And it definitely wasn't to pass the PT place.
Just to be clear, Julie, nobody thinks that she's being a creep because of her sexual orientation. We're very open around here about that. But we shame everybody, just so you know. I love you, but that, you know, we're trans allies, but we shame everybody equally. I think the stalking is the creepy part. Oh, and look at that. Christopher Engelby, not stalking me, just love me. I love you too, Christopher. I thought about you. I was thinking about you last night. I am so sending good vibes. I'm thinking about you. Oh, to be nice. I know. But we're just not nice all the time. Equal opportunity meanness, I guess. I don't know. And I actually think we're being quite good. But, thank you again, Christopher. I appreciate that. I think this is getting put in place. This is inappropriate behavior for anybody, towards an employee of a place. Don't do that. It's yucky. No matter. Guy, girl, don't give it a whirl.
Just kind of reviewing thing to see if there's anything more for me to inquire about.
Stalking does suck. Your therapist is leaving Friday. Would it be okay to give her flowers, or is it a bad idea? I can't tell if you're being serious or not, Billy, but I think that would be fine if it's not overly expensive and lovey-dovey. Nobody gets banned around here. Nobody gets in trouble.
Like, I'd be willing to sign any document she wants that I'll no longer contact her.
Oh, the judge is about to sign one.
But there was no malintent there at all.
All right, and we jump back to Ms. Norton. There are about 40 or 50 messages,
might be
audio
good.
clips. Anything in there that you remember you want to
Well, part
bring
of
my
what
attention to?
gets me on a lot of the messages is that there's a consistent and continuous insinuation that we are in some sort of romantic relationship. Apparently, Susan bought tickets to us go to see a musical later on. Like, she talks about how we can meet up in a different town if I don't want anyone to know. She insinuates that my parents made me feel bad about my sexuality, which I'm straight. It's not really an issue here. They don't care either way. But there's just a continuous insistence that we have some sort of relationship other than the professional relationship that we had. And it makes me extremely uncomfortable.
Okay, so misunderstanding there. So if you had not found these messages, you would have never known they were coming to you.
Exactly.
And they probably would have continued. All
I
right.
think part of what gets me too is that it's over 5 hours of voice messages over the span of about 2 weeks. She did not message me at all in January or most of February that I can see, but it's the amount and just how quickly it all came that concerns me, because it kind of implies some level of something new happening. And I don't know what
That's
that
more than
was,
some people work.
but
So the screenshots of text messages, were those also in your spam? Or
everything was in there. Yeah.
okay.
There's one message from previously, because I had screenshotted the original message she sent and sent it to my boss when it happened, because it was on a weekend. And that's the only one that was the original Instagram message, but everything else was all within that like 2.5 week time frame.
Okay.
Yeah, that's too much.
And she
with
states
no
in one message that she
response?
wasn't messaging me before because she was mad at me. But now she knows that I'm probably listening to these and smiling, and that's just not the case.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So let me see if we got anything more here. Any other comment, Susan Rawl?
No, I mean, I already talked to my therapist about it, and I know that it stated that they wanted me to get a mental health evaluation, and she had Jennifer Brink. I'm going to the Cohen Clinic, and she said I would pass with flying colors. So, if the court needed be.
Okay, Amber Heard, that's not really how that works. Pass with flying colors is not, that's not what they do. Also, this court doesn't order people to do mental health evaluations. But your therapist, and I'm hoping it's not a physical therapist, but a real mental therapist, if you told them the truth and they were like, you called this person 50 times with no response, like that is something to talk about in therapy. Dedicate a whole hour, baby. Whole hour. Oh!
So, Ms. Rawl, Ms. Norton, but I'm not issuing an order, but, and this is the reason why, I mean, under the law, what you received, Ms. Norton, was unwanted and disturbing from suppositions that you were making from other people saying that, Susan may have been violent.
This is the worst call, Judge. Oh my God. This is only because of the cousin husband situation. You understand that? She's fresh out of the husband hearing, 4 hours. This is 5 hours. She's made the wrong call here. She's made the wrong call.
To someone else or gets angry when she's upset, but
That is something she
That
stated
was-
in her message.
yeah, but I have to find what was her intent under the law, and I don't find enough evidence to show that her intent was to commit unlawful harassment against you in particular. Certainly they were to you in particular. And what you're feeling is fair. I'm not saying that that's not true, but what the law defines, that's a whole other animal. Now, Susan Rawl, I think you know full well now, no contact with Ms. Norton. She doesn't want anything from you. And if she receives any kind of communication from you, you can anticipate that she would probably come back to the court. We would look at all this and that, and then there would be an order, highly likely.
Yeah, if she like, I can sign a contract and send it to
You
the
don't have
court.
to sign a thing. What you've said
Okay.
today is you're not going to contact Ms. Norton, so keep to that.
Okay.
And, but again, I just have to tell you, and Ms. Norton, that I don't want to say that this is going to happen again, but if anything were to come from Ms. Rawl that's unwanted, this will be reviewed along with that. And then at that point, intent is clear, a lot clearer. So, what I'm hoping is this puts it to rest.
One slip up.
I'm going to sign an order that does away with the no contact order right now. So, Susan Rawl, I think, just don't have any kind of contact with Kylie Norton or anyone associated with her. Don't try and contact her through others or in any way. And then things should be fine. And I'll sign an order as to that effect that says that the no contact order was issued a couple weeks ago is gone and there is no further one. So that's it for today. Susan Rawl, you can be on your way, and Kylie Norton, you can be on your way. This will be in the court file for everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Luck to you.
Courtney's late, but guess what? Oh my God. I still love you, so we'll do another case. How's about that? How's about that? And thank you guys for the compliments on my outfit. It's a sports bra and it costs $7. Canadian. Even cheaper. Even cheaper. Okay, now we have to delve back into yesterday before the Cusbins. Before the Cusbins, there was what I thought was going to be our frontrunner case, which has now turned out to be third string. You know how terrible that feels? Third string. Oh, I was like, what the fuck is that? It's the fucking video that we just watched that finally downloaded. Oh my God. Finally. Finally. Okay, here's where we are. Not that one. That's like 4th string. That's actually 5th string. But this one, yes, this is the one.
Bonus if you want. Call us
You
whenever
might
you
have
want.
to. Kind of
That's
doing a little
fine.
triage here at 11:15. Okay, all right.
Erica's late, but that's okay. We're starting a new case anyway, and I'm getting another pop. I'm getting another pop. Yeah, and some brie. No brie.
Let's
No.
see. So, Mr. Johnson, is your jury still deliberating?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay. And you're up in Pierce County?
I am in Federal Way Municipal Court.
Oh, okay. And so you're available if they have a question or a verdict or anything, then you're not too far away.
That's
All
correct.
right,
I'm just set up in one of the empty courts.
Great. All right. I think we're gonna have to try something else here. So I'm gonna take up the Danielle
Hold on,
Griffith
$7.
matter.
I
Danielle
missed it.
Griffith, where was she?
I was getting a pop. Oh, NPC's getting me more sports bras. And Christopher gifting a membership for Shasta Rob. I love it. Thank you guys so much. NPC, I love that. And Christopher Engelby, thank you so much for the support. It's pop. This is pop. I love it. If you can't tell, since I've drank 2 on stream, I obviously hoofed my ass to the store today and bought it. So, anyways, let's continue. This case is the sex toy throwing case. Oops.
Just want to have a seat up here. And then Daniel Heck, is he on Zoom? Mr. Heck. Daniel Heck. Oh, we had him here a while ago. There he is. Mr. Heck, all right. So this case 2569. So let me put you under oath here while I've got you, Ms. Griffith, and raising your right hand, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Heck, you got to come back. Mr. Heck, start your video and unmute. You got to stay with us. You having trouble with your video? You got to stay with us.
Just push the wrong button, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Raise your right hand, Mr. Heck. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right. So again, let's see, 2569, and I'm looking back and forth here. I've got a couple of screens, and our file is electronic, so I will be listening. I'm just looking at the file. So that open. So, Mr. Heck, you're here. I'm wondering, did you receive the petition that was filed in this case, the temporary restraining order, all the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
When did you get that?
Love
Last
you, Chris.
Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay, so 25th or 26th?
Yeah.
Okay, because I didn't have proof in the file that you were given notice. All right. And are you prepared to respond to this today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And Ms. Griffith, you're still asking for this order to continue against Mr. Heck?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Heck, do you object to this order being issued?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So let me just re-review and refamiliarize myself with this before I start taking testimony.
Oh no, you burnt your thumb cooking dinner. Judge, why are you reading so much? Why can't you just
Along with your
figure
petition.
it out?
And all right. So what would you like to tell me about why the court should issue this order?
So he moved out in November. We kind of saw each other. And then on my birthday, which was February 19th, got in an argument, asked him to leave. I left my house because I didn't want to be there. Came back, all of our personal items was on my porch. From there until I filed, I would see him multiple times a day, drive by my house, watching my house. Like he saw a friend of mine come over at 8:30 in the morning and then started with his messaging. I blocked him on social media, then the text messages, then multiple emails. My job has been compromised. I've been informed by my corporate position that I very well may get fired over the screenshots of behavior of one of my staff managers that I talked to him about during our relationship. I mean, all in all, ever since this complete split up, I have just been unable to leave my house, unable to work really, because I have to be very careful with how I perform my job at this point. My whole life has been compromised over this behavior.
So how long you were in a relationship then? with
Yes.
Mr. Heck, how long was that?
We lived together for 8 years or so.
Okay. And there was prior domestic violence committed against you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we had that. There was there was an agreement, I think it was the city of Lacey, and that case was dismissed after Mr. Heck went through what he needed to do there.
Yes.
But that was founded, probable cause was founded there. And then, so then November 24th.
I love
you said
smile
2024.
fries.
Yes,
by
ma'am.
the way.
So that,
I love smile fries. I'm huffing this weed. It smells so fucking good. Oh, literally huffing it. It is, really, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. This says this was sun grown in a greenhouse in Canada. Sun grown in a greenhouse in Canada. Are you fucking sure? Are you sure about that? I don't fucking think so. Interesting. Okay, I'll be looking into that. But it's a strawberry strain and it smells like strawberry cream.
that's when
That's when he got his own house with his kids.
all right. And so did you have separate separate houses then?
Yes.
Okay, so you had, either he had moved out of your house into
Yeah,
a new place.
he moved out of
Okay, all right. And then what was the nature, the relationship at that point?
We were still seeing each other, trying to make it work, but it wasn't working. As the longer the time went on, the less amount of time we spent together. Like for when he came over on my birthday, which was February 19th, unannounced, by the way, the main complaint was that I hadn't contacted him for 3 days. But at that point, why would I? I mean, I don't know your plans. I don't know what you want, but you can't assume my life is going to continue on what you want.
So February 19th, he comes to your home and that seems to be the final.
Like the breaking point. Yeah, it's my birthday. He's yelling at me. I didn't contact him for 3 days. Well, dude, you could have picked up the phone. Also, ended up asking him to leave my house.
Okay, and he did?
He did. And then when I came back from whatever, I can't remember, I think I went and got breakfast or something, all of our personal items were on my porch.
So as if they were,
Like
your
everything
thought
that,
was that Mr. Heck delivered your personal items to your porch?
Yep.
Okay.
And then made it very clear that we weren't going to be seeing each other, because why would all of our private stuff, my lotion, everything that was his house, why would it be dumped on my porch otherwise?
Okay, and then, so then February 19th and after, because he came to the court middle of March,
Yes.
so something happened.
So I got really uneasy. My friend came over. We were going to go to Costco. I immediately got a text message after he came over saying, I have a new boyfriend. I broke his heart, this and that.
Was that what the exhibits that you filed
Yes,
here?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, man, you wanted to break my heart.
Yeah.
And so that was all March 10th,
Yeah.
it says, is that right?
Roughly, yeah.
Okay.
So it wasn't immediately after. It was a few weeks after when we were gonna go to Costco, me and my friends. So,
Okay, so around March 10th is when things started.
yeah, and in between
Making-
February 19th and March 10th, I'd see him drive by my house multiple times a day. I had to get a new security system because his phone number and email were the contacts, so all the notification.
So driving by your house, so do you live on, I mean, in a neighborhood, a cul-de-sac, what?
I live in a neighborhood, and the neighborhood he lives in is a different neighborhood. There's multiple other ways to get to where he was going. It'd be an intentional like drive by my house type situation.
Right? And so driving by, any stopping, any parking, anything of that
No,
nature?
nothing like that. Odd things would happen since like February and March. Like I went to the coffee stand, the girl who makes my coffee told me this big long story about how I'm cheating on him and this and that. And I went, okay, that's cool. Can I, have my coffee? I stopped by Yamaha to pick up my bike. My friend who was involved in our DV a long time ago told me he stopped by a couple of times. I'm like, great. So the places I go, the people that I know there are telling me things that are making me concerned because I just want to not be bothered. I don't want I don't want my kids to be scared. My ex that I have a daughter with called me because they wanted to go to her soccer game, and I'm like, no.
Okay, so let me go back.
But I feel like I shouldn't have had to block on multiple email address, multiple social medias, and multiple text messages to be left alone and compromising my job. I have a once in a lifetime job. If I lose my current job, my salary will never be the same. It's demographically related to where I work.
How is your job being compromised? And understand what you're doing and what you're alleging he's doing.
So one of my good friends that I'm not friends with anymore is now my staff member. We were coworkers and now I'm her direct boss. And over the years, I've talked to him about her behavior, the way she's treated me, things we've done together, things like that. He screenshotted all of that over and sent it to her, and it went immediately to HR. And I work for a corporation, and now I have a conflict of interest at my job.
And when was that done?
I believe 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, because I filled out my paperwork Thursday, the week before I filed. That's when my job gave me that information.
Okay, so that's probably what pushed you to come to court?
That and the having to get a new security system, calling my ex about my daughter's soccer game to go to my daughter's events and things like that. Like, I can't have you compromising my job and my kids. It was one thing when you were just bothering me, but like watching my cameras, seeing people come in my house, like what is the chances at 8:30 in the morning you would see somebody come over so we could go to Costco at 10?
All right, so the screenshots from texts you're saying that you had with Mr. Heck during your relationship about this person you're supervising, that was sent to the Human Resources Department of your
to my staff member, and then she's elevated. Yeah.
Okay. And then that went to Human Resources, and now here we are. Yeah. And so was this information, was this old information?
It's old information, but it was just at least a year.
Okay.
So me and her were friends for 3 years. And then I told her when I was going for this position, if I get hired on this position, our friendship is going to have to change and be work related only. So at least from probably December, January prior for 3 years.
Okay. All right. So your impression is that Mr. Heck sent that and he would have had to look back, collect it, and then send it on to the person that you're a supervisor of.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then driving by. So how do you know that?
I can see his car. I can see him in his car.
When you're in your home, or is this when you're reviewing?
No, I don't review it. It just happened to like go in and out of my house. And I'm like, oh, cool. There he is driving by again. Oh, I'm on my bike leaving. Oh, here we are. Oh, I'm turning in to go to my house. Here he is at the stop sign. Like just actual physical me seeing with my eyes, not reviewing the camera footage.
And this is the house that you formerly shared?
Correct.
Okay. So so that's the Golf Club Road.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And does that butt up against the Elm Highway?
No, ma'am. It's like Pacific Avenue is the roundabout, and then College Street is the next street over behind me. So it is a neighborhood. It's not on a main road. It's a side road off of a main road.
All right. looking through your information, see if I have some other questions.
And then like there's been other things, like I was removed from my kid's Skyward account and he put himself as the guardian, so I had to go fix that.
So, yeah, I did have a question about that. So that's the schools?
That's the
system?
schools, and we don't have any shared children. So I
And
had
what is that system for? It's
So
for,
it's for conferences, grading, absences, how they're doing, emergencies, who's in charge of them. And so I had to go resubmit all the paperwork for me and my daughter's father, and then me and my mom, because we take care of my disabled son. So I had to do it for multiple schools.
why do you attribute that to Mr. Heck?
Washington.
Because I was removed from guardian and he was put on primary when I went to the school. That's what
For
they,
a daughter that is not biologically his?
Yeah, I
He's
don't know
not a
what-
guardian of?
yeah, no, there's no, so anything related to him and my kids. So I don't know why that happened, but when I went to the school, that's what they told me is he's the guardian. He has a daughter that's in school, so I don't really know what happened, but I know that I had to go and prove that I was the parent to my children, get them to reinstate my Skyward and remove him as guardian from both of my kids.
And he has some kids at the same school?
He has one kid at the high school my son goes to. So it was really unrelevant to the elementary school my daughter goes
All
to.
right, so is the elementary school. All
Yeah.
right.
That's nuts.
So this threat, you say to send personal videos and photos that you've shared over 8 years. What's that about?
So he sent me an email after I blocked him on text messages and social media and whatnot, saying something along the lines as if I talk to anybody about him, he's gonna share those personal stuff to everybody and he's not scared and he's ready, and you know, a bunch of nonsense like that. And then my coworker started getting the private messages him and I sent. But I mean, like after he left our personal intimate items on my porch and then sent me that email.
Okay.
And
And
then,
to your
like-
knowledge, have any of your personal information that you've shared together been released to anyone?
I don't
Haven't
know.
heard.
I haven't heard back, but it's a very touchy situation at this point.
Okay. So when you talk about blocking him on texts and social media, so you tell me about that.
So like we weren't talking and then I would get a message and I'm like, I'm not dealing with this, block. So I block on one platform, then I get a text message, block on that platform. Then I'd get an email, block on that platform. Then I'd get another email from a different email address, blocked. Then I got a call from a phone in his daughter's name, block. Like,
And this was sometime after the 10th.
yeah,
of
it was,
March?
yeah, it was like from like February 19th to like March 10th-ish. Since he's been served with the temporary order, I have heard no nonsense, but I can't allow the door to open and the flood comes in. Because I've already been very compromised in my life.
Hi, William. Could have been a mistake from the school. Also, hi, Rose. But maybe not. And also, congrats to Vicky. 9 weeks smoke free, baby. Also, happy anniversary to Chuck. 24
Okay,
years.
so there's some discussion on March 11th about getting things out of the garage. Is that,
There's nothing in the garage. There's a broken TV. He moved out in November. He's already taken all his stuff. Those are just things he wants and to get access to my house, I believe. And there's a broken TV. Cool. Because that's like
Yeah, Adam, it is
January,
awfully
February since we started
fucking
fighting. That was 3
convenient.
months to get all your stuff out.
Quite convenient of the school to just whoopsie change it to his. Yeah. I mean, as I say that, it's just
okay. Anything else before I turn to Mr. Heck?
The only thing I think that sparked off the sending the things out is because about 8 years ago when we got together, his ex-wife said that I was his cheating partner and I was mean to her, and I told her I was sorry and I hope she had a good life from here on out, and that his behavior was unhinged in reflection to what she sent me, 8 years ago, saying that he's cheating on her with me. So I think that
So recently you had contact with her, you mean?
Yeah, because they moved
Okay.
out and I'd apologized to her and moved on.
Okay.
That was all.
All right. All right, so Mr. Heck, then there's been a temporary order issued on behalf of Ms. Griffith, and you've had an opportunity to look at all the information then here today. Then I turn to you about why the court shouldn't issue this order.
Well, one, there's a lot of falsities to what was just said. There was one email sent from my detailwithclass@gmail.com, which was the only one which I believe was submitted for evidence. That was the only email I sent. Yes, I did call Dakota's father because my daughter wanted to actually go watch her play soccer and say hi to her.
Dakota is
Her
Ms.
daughter.
Griffith's daughter, and you contacted Dakota's
Mr.
father,
Strode.
okay?
So my daughter could go say hi to her and watch her play a soccer game. It wasn't for myself.
Okay, and so that was, so you agree there was that contact, but it was one contact in order for your kid to play with another kid? Or go
Correct.
see a
My
soccer.
daughter's 18, but they've been together for 7 years, and she just wanted to go see her and say hi. And originally, I had blocked everything on Facebook.
If she's 18, why is it necessary for you to intercede with her father?
I asked Danielle's child's father if my daughter could come to the park and watch her play. At which point he said, "I can't talk to you. I have to go."
Okay. But she was 18, she could have gone on her own without you interceding?
I just wanted to ask. I didn't want her just to go over there.
Okay, all right. And that was, let's see, I'm looking at, you mentioned the exhibits that were filed here, and you said, yes, you did send that one email that was March 10th?
Correct.
Okay,
I believe it was March
all
11th,
right,
8:41 p.m.
okay. I'm just looking at this, it says March 10th sometimes. Yeah, and then there's other ones. So there's one, appears to be from you. You wanted to break my heart. That's the March 10th, I think. At least
That's
it's
a text
titled
message.
that. And then I have nothing of yours be reaching out for a restraining order. So that appears to be from Ms. Griffith. And then maybe your response, can't believe you could spew. Is that yours?
Correct.
March 11th. Okay. And this was soon after. And then something about cinder blocks and the TV and stuff. When was that?
Correct. I submitted some photos and text messages to the email, which has a photo that states it's a pile of my belongings, which includes a floor jack, a chop saw, oil pan, a truck bed unloader, and a few other random things that were piled in the garage, which were stated by her.
Okay. And so you moved out or had got your own place in November?
Correct. She, November 21st of 2023, she insinuated I was, and I will quote, "fucking my daughter." At which point there's also text messages submitted that she calls my daughter my wife, and how cute it was that I was getting my wife coffee at the coffee stand. And yes, the text message I sent to her friend was retaliation.
Oh, hold on while you're admitting. I walked away for 2 fucking seconds and you say that? First of all, the packets of sauce, I have to say, are probably the exact same, if not smaller than what you normally get. So that the clear one is the Taco Bell sauce. And the reason that I have these sauce packets from, and it says sauce on there, but the reason I have them is because I purchased taco sauce. It's green, so it's pulling it away, but I purchased this, and so I always have all the sauces. So I have like 2 packets of this sauce, and this. We have a lot of taco sauce. I love sauce. Oh, I bet I could. Shut up. Oh dear. Just thinking about naughty things. Anyways.
Quote, "fucking my daughter." At which point there's also text messages submitted that she calls my daughter my wife, and how cute it was that I was getting my wife coffee at the coffee stand. And yes, the text message I sent to her friend was retaliation for her reaching out to my kids' mother, who she had no association with at all.
And we talked about the friend, the one that she's supervising at her job, so.
Correct. I stated that maybe she should know exactly what she thinks of her friends.
All right.
And stopped at Yamaha, I'm a business owner, and I stopped in to do a
Let me
delivery.
ask you about the school account here. Anything about that?
Yes, I was labeled as legal guardians on hers, and she was labeled as legal guardian on my daughter.
Okay, so
Somewhere
we
in the
hear
school
from
system.
Ms. Griffith that she had to unwind all that. Do you know what happened there?
It's been like that for years. She was the legal guardian on my daughter's account, and apparently I was the legal guardian on her account. I had to go to the high school as well.
All right. Did you do anything with the school and say, take my name off of that account?
I did not touch anything with hers.
Okay. All right. And then the driving by.
Yes, Your Honor. I take college to 22nd by Mountain View Elementary. I go to golf club. I turn left on 14th, and then I turn right on Sleater Kinney and go to the coffee stand I've been going to for the last 5 years.
Okay. So
That
that
is my
takes you,
morning routine.
that takes you past.
Thanks, Dwight. That may be why I'm so saucy, baby. Thanks for the support.
Her house.
I used to go down that road all the way. I stopped going down her road, and I turned the stop sign before her block.
Okay. And when did you stop doing that?
When I seen the gentleman walking into her house, and
When was that?
March 3rd.
Okay, so early March. All right. And I kind of interrupted you a few times. Anything else you want to?
It was
Tell
a
me.
I do
Costco
have a character
lover.
witness. I believe she's here.
It was her Costco lover that set me over the edge. She loved those hot dogs and pop for $1.50, she said. Seriously, what the fuck? Bro, stop watching her. Let her go to Costco with whoever she wants.
About some of the
Where?
statements that were made on the Zoom call.
Oh, okay. A character witness. So just to say that you're a good person?
Somebody who
Or-
knows about the claim from
Okay.
beating her up.
Well, you mean the assault charge that was
Correct.
before this court? That's been founded, and you went through the program, it looks like, and you got that dismissed.
Correct.
And that's how I see it. I don't need to go plow that anymore. There's already been a previous probable cause finding by the court. There was a court action. You went through the program, and then that was dismissed. So I don't need to hear any more about that. That has been founded.
But I mean,
Is
it's
there
also,
anything else that witness would be testifying to?
she can be a character witness for my character since the time that I've left.
Yeah.
I have had
This-
no contact, and I have made it very clear that I didn't want to be part of her life.
Who is it that's here on your behalf?
Shelley.
Is Shelley? I don't see anyone on Zoom.
She may have had to go.
Okay.
I had a couple others as well, but they had to go to work. So
Okay. All right. Well, it wouldn't be relevant to go tread any information from the assault, and character evidence. Not really relevant here either. If that's all she was going to speak to, if she had
Thanks,
some information
Carla.
as to.
That's so sweet. I really appreciate that. I appreciate that so much, and thank you. YouTube Daddy's been weird with memberships lately. What do we think? Is this getting put in place or not? Get your guesses in the chat. And this is our last case for tonight. I gotta get making dinner.
for witness, but she's not present any longer. All right, anything else, Mr. Heck?
Yeah, I have no problem with a no contact order. That's perfectly fine, but I don't see a
I thought
reason
you
to.
objected to that. When I
What's
asked
that?
you earlier, you said you objected to the court issuing this order.
I do, but at times it seems that it's the contact part of it and just being a civil human being. If that's the case, then no contact would be both ways. My personal thought is a cease and desist both ways about our names in anybody's lives and keeping us separate and not having anything said about either one of us. As far as photos go, we can delete photos. She also has photos of myself.
All right.
And as far as
Well,
the sex toys and things like that went, it wasn't like I just dropped them off on the porch. I wrapped them up in a yellow bag. I tied it and I set all of her personal belongings on the front step and left.
so, all right, and then this allegation of as you said, you've mentioned it there, that neither one of you should reveal information that was part of your relationship to anyone else.
Correct.
That has been preserved on emails or texts, so. Okay. So, anything else, Mr. Heck?
You went home and got the sex toys and then brought them to her house and left them there while she was at Costco with that guy? Oh, Lord.
Nope.
I'm just looking through things real quick here.
Again, making me feel pretty good about my life choices lately. Watching some of these cases, like, fuck, girl, you have it together.
So, Ms.
Together.
Ms. Griffith, you did not include Dakota. That's your daughter?
Yes.
You didn't include any children on your petition. Is that purposeful?
No, I just didn't know because she wasn't our child together.
Okay. And she's how old?
She's almost 10.
Okay. Any other kids under 18?
My son is 17, Deacon.
Okay. But so this,
Up until the soccer thing, he wasn't bothering them. It was strictly directed towards me.
okay.
And there was
Alright.
no like family bothering or anything, but
All right. Okay. So Mr. Heck, given the information you gave to the subordinate that also went up to the Human Resources Department, obviously you had to kind of dig that up, very intentionally collect that, very intentionally supply that, with an intent to harass. And given the court has to consider, there has been a previous finding of domestic violence committed against Ms. Griffith by you. However, fortunately, you've taken that course of treatment and that's been dismissed. So I do find that there's sufficient evidence here under the law to issue this order protecting Ms. Griffith from you. And I'll sign off on that order. And I think you said it very well, no contact of any kind. Now, Ms. Griffith, that's up to you to counsel your children and to be
yes,
there.
ma'am.
You know, you've got one who's old enough, one that you are in charge of, who they have contact with. I'll give that to you. And so, Mr. Heck, then I'm going to say that now, if I understand, you both have kids at the high school.
Yes.
Is that right? You both have kids at the elementary school?
No, ma'am.
No.
No.
So there are events at the high school.
My son doesn't attend events at the high school, so
He might graduate, he might go to school.
Yeah,
might
he
have
goes
to have
to
something
school,
there.
but-
And his children there. So what I'm going to do here is just say, what high school is that?
North Thurston, ma'am.
North Thurston. All right. So what I'm going to say is, Mr. Heck, you're to stay 1,000 feet away from Miss Griffith, from her home or workplace, wherever you know she is. However, I'm going to make an exception here that this does not, it's not a violation if you're at North Thurston High School for your children's events.
Thank you.
So,
My question, Your Honor,
Yep.
is if I'm out eating and she shows up, am I in violation of the order then?
no, Miss Griffith, if she walks into the restaurant and you're seated and having your meal, then Miss Griffith asked for this order. She should then abide by the order she asked for, saying that she is concerned for her safety from you and not go there. So let me write this up, and then this will be in
They're calling the police. They're going
court file, Mr. Heck. You can access it that, or you can contact my clerks and they'll assist you with that. And then we're going to hand Ms. Griffith a hard copy here today, unless you just want to receive it by email.
Email's fine.
All right, then that's the end of the hearing, and you can both be on your way.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I object too, because again, this is, I think the other case should have been put in Courtney. No, we can't. I really have to get going. I wish. I was just looking for where to send y'all here. Is there somebody up and about? Hold on. Oh no. Oh no, the weather is terrible. Oh no, why is Ryan Hall y'all live? That's not good news at all. Oh dear, please be careful, my friends. I'm not redirecting you over there, but I am redirecting you over to Iowa's place. Go leave her a like, and please, please stay safe wherever you are. Bill! God dang it, Bill! But guess what? The good news is we'll actually be back for a day shift tomorrow. No night show tomorrow, but we will do a morning show. So get your coffee ready. And if you're not available, you'll have something to watch on Replay Crew later tomorrow. And then we're back at it regular again Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Unfortunately for my work schedule, we are back at it again Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate all the support and all the love. It means the most in the world. Seriously, I really do love you guys. So do me a favor. Remember that. I love you and I'm proud of you, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye!
Ways down and